Welcome back to the final segment of Investing with Confidence. I am your host, Joshua David, having a great time getting into the stock market, talking about retirement accounts, with techniques and strategies. If you are not there for retirement, if you don't have enough, you might need to start and do something a little bit new, which might be self-directing. If you happen to miss 2 tickets for the investing class, call 952-814-4410. You can also text the word INVEST to the number 484848. You'll receive a link back to register for the free class. So, Al, as you want to get into this final topic here, it's really continuing our discussion about retirement. It's such a big topic. A lot of people say, I'm going to never retire. But that's when people say that in their 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe even early 60s. And people don't feel like they can do nothing, which is, I totally agree. You don't want to do just nothing.
Sure.
But people want to make better choices and do what they want.
Right.
So maybe some people would like to work just a little bit or have a part-time job. And some people have to do that because they need to supplement their retirement accounts if they have one, right? So what are some different techniques and strategies that you help a lot of people get started with retirement accounts? Let's just say it's a self-directed 401k or a self-directed IRA. What are some of those techniques do you think is best for people that are planning to retire? How to get started before they retire, but also what are some things that people can do after they've retired to hopefully not draw down those assets?
Yeah, well, let's start with before you retire. One of the things that you need to remember is that the money that you have in your retirement account is really overflow money from your income. And for a lot of people, unfortunately, their income isn't high enough or their bills are so high that there isn't enough money left over to really properly fund a retirement account. So that's why they end up going into retirement maybe a little on the low side. So what I'm getting at is that while you are still in that accumulation phase, learn some of the income strategies. And what our students use typically are those leveraged assets. So you can use smaller amounts of money, but participate in a much larger investment with much larger return of investment potential. So learn that income strategy before you retire because you're going to use it also when you retire. Think about what happens when you retire. What happens to your income?
You are unemployed.
You are unemployed.
Living off unenjoyment is what they call it in the construction land.
Yeah, exactly. And the comment you made before about people saying that they're never going to retire when they're young, unfortunately now there are a lot of people that say that when they are in their 60s and 70s because they have to.
They feel like they have to, yeah. So they're kind of conditioning themselves to make yourself feel better, really.
Yeah, but if you want to work, if you want to do something, maybe there's a passion that you have had that you haven't been able to pursue because the income, the salary wasn't there from it. Now, when you're retired, maybe you can do that and not have to worry about the salary portion of it because you know how to kind of replace that cash inflow from the job that you no longer have and the salary you no longer have. One of the things that we think is important is not necessarily how much you have in retirement, it's how much you can generate off of what you have. That's so you don't have to draw down those assets. So learning the income strategies is key before you retire and also when you're in retirement, learning how to use them. Also, protection. I mentioned that before. That should be the number one consideration for everybody. How do I protect what I have? And there are a number of different ways that you can do that, and that is the number one thing that we teach our students. You should never have a big loss. You should never have a major market correction do major damage to your portfolio. There are things you can do to protect yourself, to make sure that you're benefiting regardless of which direction the market goes. You have the opportunity or the potential to do that. Nothing is 100%. But what you can do is you can learn things that put the odds in your favor that you will be successful more than not successful. When you retire, again, eliminating those fees by self-directing is a great way to do that. And also remember that mutual funds over time have been pretty mediocre in their results. So if you look at a 10 or 15, 20-year period, 80 to 90% of the mutual funds have underperformed the index they're supposed to perform with. And a lot of people, when you look at your portfolio and you see the returns, remember a big portion of that is money that you put in. It's not all returns from the mutual fund. So you have actually contributed a big portion of what you might think the mutual fund has returned for you.
It's really helped people learn how to save. And I want to talk a little bit about, you mentioned some good topics there about your income bucket fills your wealth bucket. And what do they say? You should have multiple sources of income, not just one. So if you only have one source of income and you're not funding a retirement bucket, it's important or imperative, I should say, to start to learn the techniques and skills to have the potential to create a second or a third income, and then utilize that to potentially fill that retirement bucket.
Yeah, and it's important to remember that we're not talking about multiple jobs. We're just talking about multiple sources of income, options, futures, forex. Those are three right there.
Exactly. Use those different assets to have that potential. So if you want to learn more about how to have income potential during working years or during retirement, Al teaches investing classes where he talks about our step-by-step rules-based strategy for trading any asset in any market. When you text in right now for this free investing class, you got to register. You're going to receive the Financial Quick Start Kit when you register and attend the free class. Text the word INVEST to the number 484848. You will receive that link right away back. So, Al, we kind of kicked the show off about core strategy. Having a core strategy, a proprietary strategy, I should say, that's designed to teach you to make better investing decisions. Now, we talked about in your working years. We also talked about during retirement. Let's get into a little bit more details on core strategy, step-by-step process. I mean, I want to make sure our listeners understand this step-by-step process. It doesn't have to be hard. You just have to follow those rules.
Right. And it shouldn't be hard. If it's hard, you're probably not doing it right. But when core strategy was built, when it was developed and it's been kind of fine-tuned over the years, it was built around this concept. What are the people who control price doing, and how do I do the same thing?
Okay.
Because that's the important thing. If you want to be in an investment, you want to open a position, you want the price to go up if you're buying something. And if you're selling something, you want the price to go down. Those are the two key things, and you want it to go far enough in the right direction for you to have a decent profit. That's what the core strategy is designed to do. It's the proper entry price, the proper exit price, how to increase the odds that the trade will go in your favor, and also to make sure that if you're wrong, that the impact to you is very minimal. We always talk about how we love small losses. What am I talking about? Well, what can a small loss never become?
A big loss.
A big loss. So if you can eliminate all the big losses, take a few small losses, those are probably going to be offset by the small wins, and then you've got the large wins in your favor too. So that's kind of what you want to do. You're putting the odds in your favor, and you do that, number one, by identifying what moves price or who moves price, when is it going to happen? And because of the way the big players, the smart money, the way they have to trade to get their positions fully realized, we can take advantage of that and have our students be positioned in a particular trade or investment before the big upward movement happens to move the price up, or the downward move happens to move price down.
Yeah, and where we are identifying that is on a price chart.
Right.
And think of it this way. If a big bank and institution is moving millions of billions of dollars, they're going to leave a footprint on that price chart. Think about an elephant. I was just on the beach recently. I didn't see an elephant on the beach.
I hope
but
not.
if it's going to walk down that beach in the sand, it's going to leave a footprint behind.
Right.
So if I want to follow that elephant, all I have to do is follow that footprint.
Right.
And the core strategy is designed to identify that, where that, the elephant in the room, the big banks, the institutions, the smart money could potentially be buying and selling, but how we can use a step-by-step, rules-based strategy to follow them. That's designed to make smarter investing decisions. So, Al, it's getting close to the end of the show. And we have, these investing classes that you teach here in Bloomington. I want to talk about, we talk to a lot of people about that come into these classes, and they say, I always ask, why did you come in for this investing class? And they said, I really needed something where I could have a physical setting, a physical place to learn about the stock market, the options market, futures, forex, whatever that objective may be. I just needed a place to do that. Online Trading Academy, located here in Bloomington, has that place. We do investing classes every single week. We do them on Wednesdays. We do these on Saturdays. The best part about it, Al teaches these. So I want to give away one last set of tickets for this investing class. When you call in right now, 952-814-4410, to learn more techniques, to learn that step-by-step, rules-based strategy for trading any asset in any market, which is that core strategy. 952-814-4410. You can also text the word invest to the number 484848. You'll receive a link back right away. You got to register for the class in that link, and you'll receive that financial quick start kit when you attend. Al, we had a great week in the markets, great opportunities. I can't wait for next week. Yeah, as you know, I hate weekends. I love during the week.
Yeah, right.
But you do have the OTA tip of the week. Let's hear it.
Sadly, Josh, we know that only about 5% of the people in this country are truly financially independent. Do the 5%, do they have fear? Absolutely they do. But they have searched for the knowledge to manage and overcome it. So please don't let procrastination, indecision, the lack of confidence, or that fear of failure hold you back.
Al, I like the old Wizard of Oz. And what is that? Who's the guy that did not have the courage? It was the lion, right? He didn't have the courage. So have the courage to go in and start in the financial markets, learn the techniques and strategies. And here's what it all comes down to, is making smarter decisions to make better choices. Once again, one last set of tickets for the free investing class right here in Bloomington. Call 952-814-4410. You can also text the word invest to the number 484848. You'll receive a link back to register for the free class. As always, same time, same place next week. Until then, retire young, my friends.